What's going on, guys? Welcome to For the Fans. I'm Kevin, and I'm here tonight with CJ, Sheldon, and making her very first appearance, Jackie. What's going on, guys?
Hello.
Yo.
I'm excited. Well, I'm sad. I'm sad, but I'm sad because I just got voted out of the game, and I'm shocked. But I haven't been able to stop thinking about the Traitors ever since I binged it over the last week. I loved every second of it, and I can't wait to talk about it with you, smart, lovely, beautiful people.
So it's crazy because we haven't been back since the Survivor finale. I actually didn't get to talk about the finale because I was at the finale party with for Bryson Wynn Presents. So you guys did a great job, by the way, talking about it.
Great job.
So we're back though to talk about a show that I didn't know that we were going to talk about, but I'm very excited to, and that's The Traitors. The Traitors came out on Peacock over MLK weekend. MLK
Thursday the 12th.
Yeah, and it's kind of taking the world by storm, or at least the country by storm. It just for those that don't know, The Traitors, it's a show that has half the cast reality stars and Ryan Lochte, and the other and Ryan Lochte was a celebrity Big Brother, but I consider him an Olympic swimmer before a Big Brother player. And the other half are like new reality contestants, if you will.
Just normal people first show.
Normies.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it puts them in a house, in a Scottish manor, if you will, a castle. And they're playing for essentially $250,000. A giant game of basically werewolf or mafia. That's kind of like what this is.
Yeah.
That's the boiled down version of it. It mixes like mafia and werewolf and adds a little bit of the mole. Yeah. And it's still a reality show.
I kind of wish there was a bit more of the mole, but we could talk about that as we get through it.
Yeah. It's pretty great. And after I watched it, Sheldon watched it and he was like, Kevin, we have to talk about this. Mm-hmm. And then as we were discussing making plans, CJ's like, hey, have y'all watched this show? Me and Jackie just watched it. So here we are, because we're going to talk about it. We're just going to talk about everything that happened. We're going through a whole season recap. There's no like episodic thing. It breaks it down. There's 10 episodes and they're all on Peacock and they're all streaming. So we're just going to talk about them all. Sheldon, what were your initial thoughts on the show, man?
My initial thoughts are I loved every second of it. And I loved every second of it, I think, because a lot of the cast was a lot of fun. One of my favorite Survivor people, Suri, was on it without giving away anything just yet. Although I think this spoiler alert, people. There's going to be spoilers, obviously.
We're talking about.
Wait till we hit spoiler zone. Wait till we hit it.
But this is fully spoiler zone. But I think what really turned me on, for lack of a better word, about this is that this is the first show, a reality TV show of this nature, that seems to be a brand new concept within North America that makes sense and works. And we I don't know, Big Brother and Survivor, and then the Traitors. Right? Right. I don't know if there has been anything else in between that was as interesting, that lasted, that gave us as much strategy, as much deceit, as much love, as much hilarity, Kate Chastain, as much everything as this gave us. So there is this newness about it. And this sort of new feeling. I love the fact that we don't have to see them asleep at night. I love the fact that we don't see them in toilets. I love the fact they're not on the beach they're all dressed nicely. They're well fed. They sleep well. And they're just trying to figure out who the heck is the traitor. I love it. I love how new it is.
I loved, one of the things I was watching, I was just saying, I could do this show because you're comfortable. They feed you, and it's just trying to figure out who's lying to you.
And it's not just they feed you. There's like a buffet line. Like
Yeah.
you just go through. Like you
Always eating.
They were always eating.
Yeah. At one point, Kyle is trying to figure out. Is trying to work something out. Kyle Cook from a Summer House. He's trying to work something out, but he just has like a plate of food, and he's standing next to these giant silver things that have food in them, and he's like, I'm thinking so and so has to be one of the traitors. Has to be one of the traitors.
So, side note, Ari, the Bachelor, Ari Lyondike, he was on here. He's not allowed to eat on the dates on The Bachelor. Do you think he was like caught off guard by the fact he could eat on camera here?
They did keep bringing up the toast. I don't know if anybody else noticed, but the breakfast buffet always had all that toast stacked standing up, and nobody ever ate it, but they kept talking about all the toast.
I've never seen toast like that ever. Who does? You put it on your plate and you call it. Why is it stacked up like this? This isn't a book. What is with this toast?
I love the fact that each day starts with them having breakfast when you know they're not actually having breakfast because they all probably ate breakfast at the hotel before coming over. Because even though they're in a house, they're not staying in the house. They're staying at a hotel. They're coming to the house for the set. So, they probably had breakfast at the hotel, had something quick, and then came over, got COVID tested, obviously, because it's still the time of COVID. Get your COVID test done, come to the set, maybe snack on whatever the breakfast is, but they already ate.
Well, some of them were eating while they were there.
Yeah,
but not
like
all.
the pastries and stuff. Yep.
Yeah, there was no like pancakes. There was no like eggs. It was just
there was even a confessional where Kate Chastain said, "I was staring at my empty plate." Like, yeah, you ate before you came. First of all, you probably don't eat, and if you do eat, it's not here in the castle.
Well, they were drinking, but they weren't like drinking like the other reality shows. So that was a nice change.
So the basis of the show is that, as I said, it's like Werewolf. So there's 20 contestants. To start off with, 3 of them are going to be chosen to be what are considered the traitors. Each night, the traitors will murder a player, and the rest of the cast each day will have to banish a player looking to find the traitors. With having a mix of reality stars and non-reality stars, like for the reality stars, we had Suri, we had Kate, as we mentioned, we had Kate Chastain from Below Deck, we had Ari from the Bachelor. Mind you, this show, by the way, side note, redeemed Ari in my eyes. I hated Ari
for what happened.
We had that
Bachelor.
Conversation too.
Redeemed him for me. I'm on board. We have Kyle Cook from Summer House. We have Ryan Lochte, Olympic swimmer, also in Celebrity Big Brother. Brandy Glanville, who was on Celebrity Big Brother, but from The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Reza Farhan from Shots of Sunset. They're all over the map, right? And then we have 3 Big Brother players, or 2 Big Brother players, and Rachel Riley and Cody Calafiore, and then 2 Survivor players and Stephanie LaGrossa, and we have Suri Fields. What is going on here?
Right? And like, as I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this cast, I'm like, how did you get all these people to be on the show? Like, how did the TV contracts work?
Well,
when Homeboy couldn't get on Big Brother last year because he was on America's Got Talent.
The Bravo contingent at least made sense, but how'd they get all the CBS people?
Yeah, I don't get
that. Okay, so Rachel Riley, Suri Fields, and Stephanie LaGrossa just played with Janelle in a game called Snake in the Grass, which was on USA. So in that game there was a deceptive person in the mix there, not to spoil it, but to spoil it. Stephanie was a snake in the grass, and the other 3 of them clocked it pretty immediately. So Stephanie is not a very good liar, which is why later on in the show, when she's looking at Cody, she's like, "You're acting like how I would act," because they had just filmed that, which is why and if you got the 3 of you guys are wondering getting into the game, they talk about Rachel, Suri, and Stephanie being together. They had just filmed Snake in the Grass maybe a month or 2 before, and the four of them were on the same episode. So those 3 and Janelle, and they got really close because Snake in the Grass would alternate between 4 new people that are not like that are game show contestants essentially, and 4 like reality people. And so the 3 of them having just played a game together, I think that's how you get that connection, because USA is with Peacock and is with NBC and all that. I think they said after they were done, hey, would you guys like to be on another show? And I'm sure the 3 of them were like, sure. Yeah. Now the question, how do you get Cody Calafiore out here? I don't know.
Money.
I'm not sure.
What do you mean? Money. Money.
Yeah, and then their CBS contract ran out. Their CBS contract ran out. Well, maybe Cody's hadn't, because he was just on.
Yeah, he was on All Stars, so it hadn't been 2 years. Well, I guess it has been 2 years because it was All Stars, then the Cookout, and then the last one.
Yeah, so hey, Cody's free. He's like, I'm down to do a reality show.
I will say though that, agreed, this was a great celeb cast. I think they kind of forgot about the rest, because I found the rest superiorly boring, uninteresting, and uninspired. And I feel bad to say that, outside of the fact that the only reason for that might be that we just love these crazy characters that are proven to be crazy characters. So we spent so much time on them as they edited the show. But like, what do we get? A sad Andy the entire time, an Amanda that disappears. Like I don't know.
Literally, Amanda literally disappears.
I don't. None of them left anything. They're never going to be seen again, folks. They're gone.
Yeah,
Christian did okay.
Well, you get a lot of Christian time. So the way the game, so the game starts off with everyone sitting around a table, and they pick the traitors. And now the host is Alan Cummings. Let's break down Alan Cummings. I don't know who he is. I don't remember him from anything.
Oh, he's an actor. He's a great
actor.
He
was fantastic. Had a blast with him.
From.
Had a blast with this guy.
He's also fantastic in Schmigadoon on Apple TV Plus. Not a reality show, but he's fantastic in that.
He was actually one of the reasons why I wanted to watch the show, because I was the one who brought the show up and was like, hey, I saw this thing on Peacock and I really want to watch it. And so then I brought it up and CJ's like, let's do it.
So I love Alan Cummings, the actor. Great. I grew up watching, not grew up, but I was when I was in university, I watched The Good Wife. He was on it. He was fantastic. I can't decide if I liked him here as a host. It took me the first few episodes where I was like, this is too much. And then by the end, I'm like, give me more Alan, give me more Alan. So like he really did grow on me, but it took me a while. This was not Anderson Cooper on The Mole where he was serious the whole time. This was not Julie Chan reading a thing the whole time.
He was acting the whole time. The entire time he was a character.
That can't be him. I don't know. It better not. Like I don't know a person that lived like that. But I don't know. I ended up loving it, but it took me a while.
But I think for him, it was like, we all know this show is ridiculous and campy. I'm just gonna run with it.
He also, like TJ, could not contain himself sometimes. Like some of those round tables, you could see the judgment in his face when he's like, so no one else has anything to say? Like it came across very clearly that he had opinions.
And I have to say that part of that is, this is the third time I'm saying her name. I love Kate Chastain on The Traitors because she didn't care. I don't understand. I can't imagine if I would be playing a game like that. I would be full heart going. I don't care. Let me jump off the boat like I did on Below Deck. I don't care. Whatever. Vote me out. I couldn't. Every time she said, "Yeah, vote me out," I'm gonna be gone soon. I'm like, you don't understand how smart you are right now and what strategic game you're playing. But I also can't stop watching it.
So I theorized that Kate went, because she was like, that sounds fun, I'll try that. So then she tries it and she's there and she hates it. And she wants to go home and they say, well, you don't get paid if you self-evict.
Multiple times Kate said, I'm in hell. This is hell. And they're keeping me here in hell.
Oh,
I
and
love
how am I still here? How many times in her separate things did she say, how am I still here?
According to Vulture, Kate said that she went on the Traitors to wear cute outfits. That's why she went on the Traitors, to wear cute outfits. And they told her that she wouldn't get paid if she left. So...
I must admit, I am a Below Deck fan. I watch all the series. I love it. It's so much fun. I do not like Kate Chastain on Below Deck. I love Kate Chastain on the Traitors because you juxtapose her against these celebrity gamers. You juxtapose her against how into it Rachel is and Stephanie is and Cody are, and you're like, these are a whole different world of reality. These are different lands. It was I want more of her, more Kate.
So to read you exactly, Vulture did the interview with her. They said, why didn't you just quit? And she said, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I packed a lot of cute outfits that I wanted to put on screen. I didn't lug 2 suitcases full of wool jackets from Florida for them not to get on camera. So
Wow.
Since we're in spoiler territory, when they went to the last banishment ceremony and she came out in that dress, I said, oh, she brought her finale dress.
She's here, man. And listen, Kate was fantastic. So the setup of the show, like I said, is that you have the different traitors, and you have the traitors being chosen, and you have all the other ones that are called the faithful. So the traitors, there's 3 traitors. Alan walks around 3 times, taps the shoulder of 3 players that are going to be the traitors. He picks Big Brother winner Cody Calafiore, strategist extraordinaire Cirie Fields, and new guy, regular contestant Christian De La Torre. Those are the 3 that are chosen. Just a little tap on the shoulder. They are now the traitors, and they're playing this game. And for me, I knew that the faithful were in trouble because Cirie Fields was on the case. Yep. And Cirie is one of the best game players I've ever seen in my entire life. She's the best player to never win Survivor. Spoiler alert, she doesn't win. If you're watching the season of Cirie, she's not the winner. She's the best to never win. And
wait, can we also talk about that Cirie in Survivor is the only person to ever be voted out without receiving a vote?
This also happened. She's
amazing.
Advantage getting. Cirie is one of the best players I've ever seen in these social strategy games. And so I knew, and Sheldon, what you don't know is during the pandemic, me, CJ, and Jackie used to play a lot of werewolf. We played a lot of werewolf, a lot of mafia with other friends right here through the internet. And when you're playing this game, it's all about keeping your cool and not being detected if you're a wolf or you're a traitor. And so the person that's the best at being undercover is usually really good at the game, and Cirie Fields is the best at being low-key and making people like her. Mm-hmm. And when I saw him tap her on the shoulder, I cheered in my home because I knew we were in for a game.
It was over. When he tapped her shoulder, I knew it was over.
Yes. It was a blast. Sheldon, what is your love for Cirie? How much do you love Cirie?
I don't even know how to answer that question. Cirie is everything I would want to be if I could ever go on one of these shows. Mm-hmm. The thing about Cirie that I love is that she has this ability to be a truly human, authentic, vulnerable, caring human, but she's also so analytical, and she understands people's, she should be an FBI agent. She should be an undercover something. She should be a spy. She is, I don't know, she's an OR nurse. That's a pretty fucking hard job, but I don't know. She could be the president of your country. She's fantastic. I adore her. And I've always hated that she hasn't won a season of Survivor, because she deserves to win a season of Survivor. and I am very happy with the result of this.
Jackie, what is your knowledge of Suri before this?
So I'd never watched her season on Survivor because I didn't start watching Survivor until recently. So I knew very little about her going in. I knew that CJ loved her. He was so excited to see her, and I think that was one of the reasons why he agreed to watch this so quickly. But yeah, yes. But I didn't know a lot about her, but I really liked the way that she played all of this. And I have to say, just watching her in this, she is one of the best I've seen at being able to compartmentalize the game versus personal. Because that's the thing with a lot of these game shows that we watch, especially when you get into the MTV side with like The Challenge and some of those, people take stuff so personally. And it's just a game, right? Like at the end of the day, it's a game and we're trying to win money. And I get that you're my friend, but we're still trying to win money. That's the point, right?
It's true. And so Suri is someone, and I mean, this is her story. She got up off the couch. She was watching Survivor, was a fan, got up off the couch, went out there and played, I believe, season 12, I want to say was her first season, Survivor Panama. And she was probably going to be the first one voted out. She was on her way to being the first one voted out and was able to get around that, goes on to like team with the guy that ends up winning, gets cut at like 4 there, comes back in Micronesia, gets to the final 3, finds out it's a final 2 this season. They cut her there. She comes back later on. They get rid of her immediately because they're like, Suri is too good. She's got to go. Comes back for a 4th time. And as CJ said, doesn't receive any votes, but because everyone had immunity, whether it be an immunity necklace or an idol, she went home without receiving a single vote against her. Like, that is a Suri Field's Survivor story. And watching her play another game, I'm down to watch any game she's playing, which is why I did watch Snake in the Grass, because I wasn't going to watch it until I heard that we were going to get Suri Field's Rachel Riley, who's one of the most polarizing winners in Big Brother history. And Stephanie LaGrossa, who played very well in Guatemala and probably should have beat Danny Boatwright. You get these girls, and then you have Janelle, who is a comp beast. Yep. I'm like, I don't know what Snake in the Grass is, but I'm gonna watch. And I did. And so when I saw that the Traitors, when they dropped the posters for the Traitors, and you get that poster with Suri's face and that sword, I was like, when does this come on Peacock? when you said Peacock, right? Let me see how I can. Do I have that? Am I subscribed? Let me go add that subscription. So Suri is just, I could gush for hours about Suri. She's one of my, if I were to do a like reality TV strategist, Mount Rushmore, Suri is on there along with Tiffany Mitchell. There are 2 people that I've like just come to love as strategists. And so having played so much like Mafia and Werewolf, knowing this was a social strategy game, I'm like sitting there like this, waiting for him to tap Suri's shoulder. And then the moment he does, she had a little wry smile, and I'm like, yes. Yes. And she immediately gets to work. The moment that they figure out that they're traitors together, her, Cody, and Christian, she immediately gets to work working her way.
Is there a member of the cast that you guys think would have been a good traitor?
Rachel Riley.
I don't think Rachel Riley would have been a good traitor, and the only reason why isn't her fault. I think people naturally don't trust her based on what you said about her being just super polarizing. If you know her background, you're not going to want to work with her.
If you even know her background, Kate says, I don't think you're a traitor, but you annoy me, and I want you gone.
And I have to say, I am one of the people that do not love Rachel Riley. I didn't like watching her on Big Brother. I didn't like watching her on The Amazing Race multiple times. I'm not a Rachel Riley fan. Lovely lady, I'm sure. But I have to say, to me, she kind of redeemed herself in this show because she was a little toned down. She wasn't the loud, and again, maybe it's just because all of the other ones were louder this time, but we didn't get that. I hate to use the word, but I'll use it. That annoying, in your face Rachel Riley. She was calm in some strange way for her.
She didn't
She's
tell
grown a
any
lot.
traitors to grab a life vest.
She's grown a lot since she was on. I mean, she's 37 now, right? She played Big Brother 15 years ago almost.
Yeah,
because she was on 12 and 13. So she played 15 years ago. Her and Brendan have 2 kids. She's settled down. She's no longer the Vegas. She used to live in Vegas. She used to be the Vegas party girl. She's not that girl anymore. But she knows that she's playing a game. She's like, I'm here to play a game. I'm playing a game. I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to get this money. And I'm trying to have fun with some friends of mine. Like, I don't need to be wild and crazy like I was on Big Brother 12 with the brigade. I can just be chill and like figure this out. And then you got a little bit of that old Rachel when she is getting banished. You got a little bit of that old Rachel when they're like, Rachel, I voted for you. And she's like, oh, are you sorry? Are you really sorry?
Yeah. I was like, oh, there's Rachel. That's the Rachel I've been telling you about.
So CJ and I did have a discussion that it would have been really funny if Kate and Rachel had been traitors together, because seeing them try to work together would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
Nobody would have ever suspected them of being traitors because they both would have been pointing the finger at each other.
But they would have looked at each other in a different light if they were both traitors. I don't know.
I don't think so.
So one of the aspects of this game that I loved was the fact that the traitors turned on the traitors.
Gotcha.
And it's something that I didn't realize was ever going to happen until it happened.
Oh.
Like it was so cool.
Sheldon,
and
I've thrown a wolf in my day. I've sacrificed a wolf when necessary.
Yep.
I'm not very.
To be fair, Cody did that to himself.
And so did Christian.
Yeah, Cody 100% did it.
Because you can't back down from it, right? So before we get into that, because there's one thing I want to talk about that's in every episode. There was a challenge, and why?
Yes.
I'm not really sure why there was a challenge. I'm not really sure what the point of the challenge was. They break them up into groups and have them compete against each other. I'm cool with that part because you're trying to see, like, you could definitely try to see inconsistencies in smaller numbers. So that's fine. But, like, why is there challenges to begin with? You got to fill an hour, I guess.
So I think the reason the challenges were there was if you didn't suspect someone, you had a reason to cut, quote unquote, dead weight in order to help you keep getting money. The problem is each challenge, it was arbitrary amounts of money. Yeah. And it becomes very evident in the last challenge that they were always going to give them the full $250,000, because when they're jetting around on those boats, hitting the shore to grab random bags of money, it's like, oh, here's 5,000, here's 12,000, here's 20,000. Oh, here, go get the other 60,000 you guys didn't win throughout the season.
I thought that was cool. I thought I'm glad that they didn't know that they were going to have that opportunity to get all the money. I thought that was the best part about it.
Yeah, there was no real reason. Like, so I would have liked challenges if our traders were actually a bit molly, in the sense of the job of the trader would have been to sabotage something.
Do you know how you fix the challenges, Sheldon? How? If the faithful don't win the money goes to a trader's bank.
Well, so what do you like? Like I was thinking about this the entire game, because outside of the move, actually, I should say, outside of killing somebody, there is zero ways for anybody to really identify who the traitor is. Is this game fully, completely, and totally made for the traitors to win? Like, the faithful don't have enough ways to gain information for who the traitors actually are.
When you play werewolf, it's the same way. But I think what the key is to put the screws to somebody and see what happens. I would have, if I was a faithful, each night that we got to the banishment, I would literally just whip around the room and I would say, Sheldon, who are the top 3 you suspect, man? CJ, who are the top 3 you suspect? And I would just be asking people, because what we're trying to do is create opportunities for people to have the screws put to them and see how people work in the fire, because that's the only way to really do it. When CJ says, I think Jackie's my number 1 suspect, that's probably a traitor. And if Sheldon's like, I kind of agree with that. The way Jackie behaves when people are starting to look at her is going to tell you one way or another. That's all you have. And I hope they did do it and we just didn't see it. But that was the way to try to suss one of them out.
It was also interesting to see that, like, when we play werewolf, right, it's a little bit different because we know everybody in there. So, like, I know what Kevin's like on a daily basis. So when I'm asking him questions, I have some baseline for whether or not he's telling me the truth. It's much different when you're playing with all strangers. But that was the thing about this group, is that they weren't all strangers. So they already had some baseline with some people and no baseline with other people. So we didn't get a whole lot of that sussing out, because people came in like, well, I just trust these people because I know them. So we didn't get to see that back and forth.
And what was interesting, on the first episode, Rachel Riley said, I looked at Cody and I knew he was a traitor.
I knew immediately.
Yes.
She said, I drink with Cody. I've drank with Cody. I've spent time with Cody. I'm looking at him and I know he's a traitor. Just from first glance, based on how that is. Brandi Glanville played Celebrity Big Brother, and she's like, I'm pretty sure Cirie and Cody are traitors, or Cirie and Christian are traitors. Partially for Cirie, she was like, the way Cirie plays before, and she's quiet, and I think it's probably sort of like Cirie. And Cirie gave nothing away, but Brandi was like, I've watched a bit of these shows. The fact that Stephanie LaGrossa looks at Cody and says, you act how I would act if I was a traitor, and I've seen you. I know what you look like. This is interesting. And then on the flip side, she says, I trust Rachel and Cirie wholeheartedly because I have this pre-existing relationship with these guys, so I already trust them. Jackie's hitting the nail right on the head by 10 of them having familiarity with each other, and a few of the ones that don't know nobody having seen them on TV, or at least a couple of them, like Michael had. I don't think the rest of them had really watched them on TV. You had a little familiarity with who the people were, which gives you a little bit of a baseline, like Jackie said. So it definitely makes it a little bit different. I can definitely see that.
So what is it then about Cirie? We've all seen her play. Stephanie should have known. Rachel should have known. Like, why didn't they know that she is truly capable of is she just magical? Is that like she's so brilliant?
So there's some people that you inherently just trust in those types of games, and this is why this game, I haven't decided if it would be better if it was all brand new people or if it was all reality people. Because when we play werewolf in our group, there's one guy that we kill almost first every time.
Sorry,
Albert. Because nobody trusts him. Sorry, Albert.
Can't trust him. Can't just trust him. But then, like, for instance, when you asked about Cirie, I would follow Cirie into a fire. Like, I mean, if Cirie told me that this burning building is where we needed to go, I'd be like, I got to go in there.
Yeah, okay, but it's different when you're playing a game with Cirie.
Yeah, I trust Cirie emphatically. Like, Cirie Fields, the way she talks to people and the way she connects with people is so genuine.
Yes.
That even though you're playing a game, you gotta trust some people and their opinions, and I just trust her.
And
When we play
it's
werewolf,
funny.
when we play werewolf in our group, there are some people that trust me, whether I'm telling the truth or not, because I'm a trustable person if I'm a good guy, and they know that. The question is, am I a good guy? And if Suri was a good guy, they were doing the right thing. Suri happened to be a bad guy.
And Suri wasn't the only one there that everyone trusted. Like, from the edit we got, nobody ever mentioned Ryan as a potential traitor.
Everybody trusted Andy.
Everybody was just hands down, Andy's just a good person.
Everybody trusted Ari as well.
Yeah,
everyone trusted Ari.
Until right at the end when they started to be like,
or running out of time and running out of options. But like these people, they were like, they just emphatically trusted. And it's not even because they were quiet, it's because the way they make you feel. The way they make you feel that you're looking at them, you're like, I think this person's telling me the truth.
Yep. I will also say, Sheldon, as someone who played werewolf a lot, right? One of the keys to it is the best players are the people who play the same way, whether they're the bad guy or the good guy. Because we have friends that change their behaviors, and pretty quickly, you may not be 100% sure, but pretty quickly that that's how they play when they're a bad guy versus that's how they play when they're a good guy. And one of the reasons Kevin's so good at these games is because it's really hard to tell because his behaviors never change.
Kevin is Suri. Sorry. That is what
she's
Kevin
way
is.
better than I am. She's way better than me.
But you to me, the closest person on one of these shows that you are, Kevin, is Suri. Like, you connect with humans on a deep, personal, emotional level, while you're also extremely smart and analytical. So,
and that's why I love Suri so much. But like you had mentioned, like Andy is another person that like really seemed to have connected with so many of these people, and they connected with Suri on such a level that it was like, it's me and Suri. Suri's gonna lead me to the fire, and it is what it is. I don't really care. I'm doing what I can to like trust. And
Suri never had to defend herself. Anytime someone said, "Well, what if it was Suri?" They said, "Well, what if you go home?"
Stop! It wasn't even that. The one time Stephanie's like, it could be Suri. She did say she was a little upset. They go and tell Suri, and she's like, I would not be upset if I was a traitor. And as soon as it's over, Stephanie basically stands on the table and says, I think Suri is down. I will not take any other slander. I apologize for even bringing these words up to the people. My apologies. That's on me. Stephanie LaGrossa does that because that's how Suri makes her feel, even in that moment when all she did was say, Suri did say, I know Suri's not a traitor, because she said she was kind of pissed that she wasn't a traitor. And that was enough for them, like, hey, Suri, Stephanie's talking shit about you. Like, Stephanie wanted to make sure it was clear. I am not. Hand to the Bible. I will never question Suri again.
I also have so many thoughts on the ending when we get there about how they believed Suri like so completely.
Because you have like it's so crazy, because you're right, Sheldon. Like, why do you just believe Suri? But she has proven 3 times that she is just. I mean, okay. Survivor examples. Eric Reichenbach gives away his necklace when Suri tells him he's going to be okay. Like, Suri and Natalie White tell him, Natalie Bolton tell him, you're going to be fine. Give us the necklace. He takes off his immunity necklace, gives it to Natalie, and they vote Eric out. Okay? That happened in Micronesia. We watched as she worked with Aris, and she did a 3-2-1 vote, and she was the one, and Aris just trusted her. Terry Dietz took care of that because Terry Dietz didn't trust her. But Aris just believed and was like, I'm gonna bring Suri to the end. He was going to sit next to Suri. If Aris had his option, he would have sat next to Suri. We watched Sarah Lucina hand Suri her advantage and said, hope is and it only didn't work when we found out it was not transferable because Sarah didn't know that, and so we tried to play it against Sarah. Right? We've watched people multiple times trust Cirie Fields.
Is there like? I don't actually believe what I'm about to say, but is there any possibility that people just think she's not a closer, she can't seal the deal, and because of that, let's just trust her? I don't really believe what I'm saying right now, but I'm just trying to figure out what rational means there is to trust Cirie outside of the fact that she's mesmerizing.
You asked earlier, is it magic? It is.
So I will say she handled the pressure the best. So like when they did come to Cirie and say, hey, they're talking about you, right? When they got to the round table, she brought it up, and she brought it up immediately.
Right.
And she said, I want to talk about this. I want to get this out there. I want to have an open discussion. When it was Cody, he didn't do that. He waited until someone brought it up, and then he was like, but I, right? Like defensive. No, when it was Christian, he definitely did not do that, right? Like everybody else who got accused was so reactionary, and she was like, no, I've been hearing chatter. Let's nip this in the bud. We're all on the same team. Let's just make sure that we're openly communicating about this. It was the perfect way to handle it.
The other part of this is, and I read this somewhere, was that Cirie said that the other celebrity people did not make the same relationships with the non-celebrities that Cirie did. So
It was very evident.
and it was very evident in the show. And I think even in the last episode, like when we started to see the relationship between Cirie, Andy, and Quentin, I think was his name, like why, like you're sort of like, why didn't Ari have that relationship? Why didn't Kate? Like it was very clear that Cirie said, I don't care who you are, I'm gonna get you on my side. And in fact, if you're not a celebrity, I probably could get you on my side better because you don't fully get my magic.
I mean, Cirie just connects. She just connects, and it's just these are like legitimate people to her, and she is just connecting with legitimate people. It's amazing. It's truly amazing, and it's funny because like we're gushing about Cirie's game. Cirie played so well. Watching other people attempt to connect, like the bros, right? Christian, Ryan Lochte, and Bam and Cody, like the bros. They were bros. Cody wasn't in the bros originally. He hated Christian, even though they were traitors together, because Christian was a lot. I mean, Cirie said it. He had like Labrador energy. Like that was he's a lot. But watching the bros come in every morning for breakfast, hey, and then run and like hug, the bros connected. Ryan Lochte has the same bro magic that Cirie has, but on a bro level.
Yep.
Can you all explain why do I keep on seeing Ryan Lochte on my screen? He gives me nothing. In fact, he takes things away from me. It's negative entertainment. Like I don't get it. I don't find him likable. I don't find him interesting. Why is he keeping on? Why are they casting the man?
Because
He
Michael
brings the
Phelps
bros.
disappeared.
Or that.
He unites the bros, and Michael Phelps doesn't do reality TV.
Is there something interesting about him that I'm missing? Like I don't.
He's an Olympian, man. He's an Olympian.
He's an Olympian. Didn't he? Wasn't there a scandal with him about pretending that people stole him something or did something? I don't know.
It was something with swimming. There was a scandal with swimming. But realistically, what it probably is that he's a name that's known outside of just reality TV, which could potentially bring you additional views, right?
It's really a target market play. That's completely what it is, bringing different people. But from an entertainment perspective, like I don't even think he knew he was playing the game. Like I don't know what was going on with him.
I mean, same could be said for, I can't even remember her name, the quiet girl that got kicked off because she was quiet and then she spoke up.
I don't even
know.
Yeah,
that was what, Azra?
Azra, yeah.
Azra, yeah. Like, that's one thing I do want to talk. I want to mention Azra, right? I love the fact that Kyle calls her out for being quiet. And that was enough for the Traitors to be like, this could maybe frame Kyle, maybe not. Let's go ahead and try to do that. Because as the eliminations go, starting with the early one, first and foremost, Brandy Glanville. I don't know how she had such a good read on this game.
She clocked 2 of them in 2 episodes.
Instantly. Yeah. And she was suspicious of Cody too. He just wasn't the number one suspect.
Correct. And so we're in this first elimination. We're not going to go elimination by elimination, but in this first one was important because it really established Brandy, Michael, and Kate as like preeminent players of this game.
Yep.
And you get Michael going after poor Geraldine, who did nothing but say Michael could be a traitor. They just tell Michael and he goes off. Oh, we're voting out Geraldine, right? We're banishing Geraldine, right?
Could you do it in the Southern accent?
I cannot. No, I cannot, sir. And he's like, we're voting out Geraldine. And then you got Christian, who is playing. Christian's playing too hard immediately. He has no idea how to like calm down and just relax.
He has no chill.
He has Labrador energy.
Correct. And he's like, we're voting out Geraldine. I heard we're saying Geraldine. We're doing Geraldine. We're voting out Geraldine. And that immediately puts on Brandy and Kate's radar. And they're like, listen, man, Michael's a problem. Michael's got to go. Michael obviously is the bad guy. He's obviously a traitor. You're just going after Geraldine. Kate says, while we're running around, Michael's like, so we're banishing Geraldine. Geraldine's in that group. She's in their group. They're a 3-person group. And she fell back up behind a little bit. And he tells Kate, we're voting out Geraldine. He takes Kyle out the grave because they had to do like a grave digger competition. And he takes him out, immediately takes him out, pulls him out the dirt, dusts him off. So we're voting out Geraldine tonight. Just so that way, you know. Like that is so then we get to the first banishment. And Geraldine's like, I didn't even like really say your name. Like I said that maybe you. He's like, nope. Said my name, she got to go. And Brandy and Kate are like, Michael, what the hell? They go right in on him. And that was when I was like, I might got to watch Below Deck because this Kate person is hilarious. Just made her a star.
So it's interesting watching how like Brandy and Kate were able to clock it, and they noticed that like the people who are loud and trying to lead and, actually playing the game are probably not traitors. It's probably the people that are trying to like fly under the radar. And the thing that kept hanging up the group every elimination when they're going to banish people is they're like, well, this person did this. Well, this person was outspoken about this. And it's like, okay, the first time it didn't work. Okay, the second time it didn't work. Okay, the third time didn't work. Why don't y'all change your strategy?
My favorite thing was that every time 2 people went at each other, it was one and then the other one went. Like they never figured out that if they're going at each other, they're probably both good guys.
Yeah.
Except when it was Kate. They just kept Kate forever. But I mean, you're right. If they just never could put 2 and 2 together, that they
and I think that goes back to like my original point of there really isn't a lot of opportunity outside of watching people's behaviors to get any data about who the traitor. It's not like they're doing traitorous things. There's nothing traitorous. Like there's no way to catch them. There's the investigation is very deep. It is analyzing who they killed and finding if there's a pattern in the killing, and that is the only information they have outside of body language. And I'm not sure if I want that to continue the way it is, if there is another season, because I kind of like it, or I want them to have some more data. I don't know what the right thing is. Probably if there's more seasons, I'll be able to give you a better answer. But it feels like there's just not enough bad things that the traders have to do.
So I am kind of on the same page as you. Is like when you have these challenges and they have to earn their money, by allowing the traders to just participate without having to be duplicitous, it makes it very hard for the faithful to figure out who they need to eliminate. And maybe you leave that, but maybe going back to the werewolf games, you start adding other roles. Like maybe you add a doctor who could save someone in the middle of the night and they have to guess who the traders are trying to kill. Like there's other ways around it where you can gather information without actually making the traders be outwardly deceitful. Like the whole fun of the game is that it's all social. As we've talked about, the challenges are just kind of arbitrary, but maybe you can, ask a question every night to someone that they have to answer truthfully. Maybe you have a doctor who can save one person in the middle of the night, so that if adding the shield in the middle of the game was actually really cool, but it never effectively got used. Like it would have been 10 times better if Ari could have played the shield on someone.
So just one support of the challenges, although I agree with you, CJ, they're arbitrary. I thought the challenges were really cool in their design.
Awesome challenges. The challenges were amazing.
They also didn't seem so hard that a guy like me wouldn't be able to do that. Like they seemed like something I would want to do at an escape room on a Saturday. Like they seemed fun.
Yes.
And I love them. I just don't really know why we need
the
them.
points.
So what was your favorite challenge, and why was it the one where they rolled the barrels and Kate threw the money away?
No, that was the hardest one. I would not have been able to do
that. Watching Kate be so over the game that she's literally throwing monies away because she's not helping with the hard part of the challenge. So they give her like 4 bags to carry, and then she gets towards the end and starts throwing them down the hill. Because
she still didn't go home for episodes.
Yeah. Well, and then she admitted she did it, and then at the round table was like, "I didn't do that." Hysterical.
And she's doing it because she said, "I don't want to be here." Like literally, that's the only reason she's doing it.
But I think that's actually might be why the challenges were really there. Is that the challenges were the only things that really introduced drama, right? Outside of the round table where, you got some back and forth drama. There was no real drama in the house, not in the mornings when they're doing breakfast, right? Outside of that, they'd just be hanging out. So you need something that could potentially give people a reason to get upset with each other, to see behaviors and kind of make things interesting.
I also wonder if you start making the challenges where the traders have to do bad things so that they lose, so that the faithful lose, it does become the mole. And so like this has to be a different game than the mole.
Well, which is why I think if you play for a trader's pot, if the traders have their own side pot that they're winning, it allows you to, I think it solves a lot of problems. Because as CJ, as you guys were saying, there's not treacherous behavior happening. So there's hard to figure out who's what. By having them having to sabotage a bit, while a little bit moley, on the mole doesn't have a side pot.
Nope.
The mole doesn't have a reason but to sabotage, but to mess up the quiz that they do on each day. But by giving the traders their own pot, it incentivizes them to not be as helpful, which could be I think that's why they're doing this. And then you get to a banishment, you could bring up the things you saw, which could lead to them being banished. Because in the mole's going to be in the end no matter what, right? Because they know what's going on ahead of time. In this situation, you can still vote the traders out. And you're just trying to figure out if you got them all or not. Now, I felt like a great fix would be to have a trader's pot and a faithful pot. And if only one trader's left, they win both the trader and the faithful money. I thought that would be cool because that would also incentivize the traders to try to figure out, should I be trying to eliminate my own trader team too? Or should I be trying to work together to get to the end together?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it would add an extra layer to the game of what's going on here. And it makes those challenges, which, as Sheldon, you said, this is probably some of the most fun challenges I've seen on a show, other than the Amazing Race.
The only part of the challenges that I thought I didn't like was some of like the clues. There was a clue where the answer was glass. Like they were really easy. Anything like word related was a joke, but everything else was just the digging them out. Like that's fun. That's
the bell one was. Really
I was about to say that.
Oh,
Zeus,
so
that bell one, and Rachel knowing the songs like immediately
Yeah.
blew my mind. She knew every single one of those.
Well,
Having
and even
Rachel
the
on that team
people,
was great.
the people on the house side who were like, I know that song. The one girl was naming them. That's the Ode to Joy.
Yeah.
I was like, how did you do that?
the competition
was
where they're
so
all
cool.
in the church with the masks on.
Oh, that was great too.
That was awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, see, such good challenges. And if only it was, and I'm still cool with you separating the two teams, right? Like in the church, there are two teams competing against each other, all making money for the pot. But if you have Christian and Sari trying to make them lose money and it goes to a traitor pot, it could make it seem a little bit more suspicious.
What did the faithful do wrong? Like so I guess my question is, what is the right faithful strategy? Because
okay, so there's three. There's three traitors. We get Cody Calafiore, we have Christian De La Torre, we have Sari Fields.
Only two of the three rhyme.
They kill Ryan Lochte.
Yeah.
And then the next morning, Cody inexplicably tells Kyle that Ryan had him, Rachel, and one other person as his top suspects for no reason whatsoever. That immediately puts Kyle aware of Cody's existence and that Cody could be a traitor. Cody then sabotages himself and they vote Cody out.
And you know where Cody really went wrong there? All he had to do at the banishment ceremony is say, I never said that.
Correct.
And it's his word versus Kyle. And you already know they don't trust Kyle.
And so you're right there with that. The next thing, Christian gets voted out because I was shocked that they got a turn. I did not expect the traitors to get a turn. And so when Cody's dead, they get gifted a turn by the game and they turn Ari. Ari has to accept being turned into a traitor. Ari also has the shield. Right. Ari also has the shield. Everyone walks in the morning and is like, no one's murdered. That's fantastic. And they're like, Ari's like, I did have the shield. And someone goes, oh my gosh, they tried to kill Ari last night, but he had the shield. He was safe. Oh, we're in good shape. And then Christian says, guys, I got something to tell y'all.
Yeah.
They tried to turn me last night and I said no. And they're like, bullshit. We know that if that was the case, he's definitely a traitor, and they sink his ship. I say all this because you asked, what did the faithful do wrong? They didn't catch nobody. Those motherfuckers caught themselves.
Yep.
So also,
what's the strategy?
They knew going in that there were three traitors, right? They knew going in there were three traitors.
They knew there was between 2 and 5. That's what Stephanie said. She said they told them there was between 2 and 5 traitors.
That's interesting because in the show, right, they talk that he's choosing 3, and Alan Cummings says, "I'm choosing 3" to the camera. I assumed that he also told them.
No,
so that's interesting that we didn't know that.
So as the audience knew that, yeah, but the contestants knew there was between 2 and 5.
CJ, you said you liked the twist of them bringing in another traitor.
Why?
Because I didn't get it. I don't know why they needed it.
So the reason why I like the fact that they can bring in another traitor is because if someone were to be on their case, which, let's be fair, the faithful had no idea what was going on. The traitors were running circles around them until they shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
But if someone is on you, you can actually invite them to your cause. And it's kind of a no-win situation if you're invited, because if you turn them down, they're just going to kill you next. There's no reason not to at that point.
Well, I also like the turn because usually when these games have a turn, it resets the whole game board because
Mhm.
everyone that was cleared earlier is no longer cleared,
Yep.
right? If you cleared someone based on, you're like, okay, I don't think CJ's a traitor based on how he's behaving and how he handled those questions. And the fact that he was, I mean, they should have realized this, the fact that he was the last one to walk through the door.
But wouldn't that only work if Alan would have announced last night one of
So-
you people?
And that's where Christian screwed up. Is Alan never said this happened.
Yeah.
If Alan would have said it and then you say that, you actually look all right. But just introducing the idea that someone can be turned in the middle of the game when no one had mentioned it before, and then to have the details that you had about, oh, there was a wax stamp on the paper. Oh, it said this. And Kate says it immediately. All right, where's the paper? Come on, man.
Now,
Receipts.
Exactly.
the thing is that apparently in the UK or the Australian version, they do tell them that there was a turn last night. And I think they don't tell them there's a turn because Christian tells them for them.
Oh.
That's what I'm thinking. Now, from what I heard, what I read somewhere was that the US version was filmed before the UK version, so they might have changed it in the UK version. But they might have also felt like that Christian told them enough that there was a turn option.
The UK version, because I actually looked up how that one went too. I also think they had already caught 2 traitors when they did the turn on that one. So in this case, because they hadn't caught, like they had only caught Cody at that point, I think it also changes kind of how that ended up working.
The balance numbers, yeah.
Well, I assume if all 3 would have been chosen, then they would have added another traitor. Right, sorry, if all 3 would have been found out, then there would have been 0.
I think they would have just done the turn earlier. Like when there's only one left, you just do the turn early.
I see what you mean.
Yeah. I think that anytime that there's one traitor before the finale, they're gonna do the turn so that you don't know how many traitors are left. Because when you get to the finale and you do the banishment and then you do the ceremony of truth, you have to, like, at the end of the game, the 4 people at the end of the game have to decide if they think there are any traitors left.
Yeah.
You might have 1 traitor, you might have 2, you might have 3. It makes sense that if you're a traitor at the end of the game, you're always going to vote yes. Unless you don't, which we're going to talk about in a minute.
Now, you asked Sheldon, how can the faithful win this game?
Yeah.
The way the faithful wins this game is you need more Codys and less Cerise. That's just the truth. Cody's able to be found. You got to catch the traitors slipping up. And the traitors are always going to slip up because in these kind of games, being the deceptive one, that's when you get caught in lies. Unless you're okay lying regularly. And then you're like, all right, this is an easy thing to do. With that being the case, you just got to be perceptive and let them talk themselves out. Brandy and Kate did a lot of talking in the episodes leading before Cody goes. Kyle did a great job of pivoting conversations away from people without saying we're not talking about this anymore. That is a very, very good traitor trait. He happened to not be a traitor, but that is a good thing to be perceptive of if you're watching it happen, which Quentin was. Quentin was forever wrong, but that was a good thing to be observant of. You know what I'm saying? Because that would happen if you're onto a traitor and you don't have Sari Fields playing. So, and that's important because a lot of times traitors' instinct is to defend the other traitors. That's an instinctual thing. So you're looking for those things. You're looking for the vote to come out and it be wrong. You're looking for people to defend heavily if they're a bad guy and the other person comes out good, like a Michael to a Geraldine.
Yeah.
The other thing CJ and I talked about is one of the things that none of the faithful did that I would have been doing were I there is that the traitors can't be too connected, right, in the game, because then once you catch one, you're going to figure out who the other ones are. So I would have actually been watching for people who deliberately weren't working together, who very much were avoiding being seen alone together, because that could be something to show you who isn't working together.
How do you differentiate though if I just don't like the person? like that's so, it's so, like, you're right, Jackie, but that's so hard, because what if I just don't want to have lunch with Andy? Like I'm staying away from Andy. I don't want to have lunch with them.
Well, I mean, that's Kate and
Rachel,
right? Yeah, absolutely. But,
oh my gosh.
But the actively not liking each other, that comes out, right? You see that in the game, versus the people who are chatty in groups, and then when they're separated, they're very much staying away from each other, right?
These are things that you just have to be observant and just try to see if, because, so I say this whenever I play Werewolf all the time, when I play Werewolf online, townspeople are going to die. It's going to happen. It's just how the game is made. You're going to get faithfuls out. And and if I'm there playing the game, if I'm a faithful, I'm going to say that. Listen, it's unfortunate that Geraldine was a faithful, but in the nature of this game, there's only a few traitors, and there's a lot of faithful, and every night we have to vote. We have to vote every night. So we're going to be taking out some faithful, and it's unfortunate. And that's not the goal. The goal is to catch a traitor. But we got to understand that sometimes we're going to miss. So you just got to be watching. You just got to be watching. And like Jackie said, trying to figure out clues. Think like a traitor. What are traitors thinking? They're thinking that we can't be connected. Well, if we can't be connected, where should we be standing? I see them not standing next to each other. Maybe they are traitors because they're not. They're doing their best to not be connected.
Yes. And I really hope this show comes back, because I think you're going to see an evolution in strategy similar to Big Brother 1 and 2 or Survivor 1 and 2, where people are looking at things completely different. And like, I didn't think there was a way for the faithful to win this time, but I think next time they're going to be better equipped, because they're going to be looking at the bigger picture.
I also think these faithful in particular put way too much credit on body language and what people were saying. You can lie with body language and what you're saying, right? And everybody reacts differently. Like they clocked, I can't remember her name now. The Black woman with the curlier hair. Shelby, yeah. So Shelby, they immediately turned on her because of her reaction when Cody was a traitor. And like, she was legitimately upset. And it wasn't about that. Like, that's what she was doing. She was legitimately upset. And why would another traitor be sitting at the table being legitimately upset? Like, that's just stupid, right?
Cool, more money for me.
Yeah.
There is one star of the show that we haven't spoken about yet. Oh. Fergus, the groundskeeper. Running after a peacock, polishing a stag. The guy was... I loved him. It was so... I don't think we even saw him every single episode, but when he came on that screen, I had a little giggle every time. Thank you, Fergus. I need more Fergus.
I'm glad that you mentioned Fergus, because I wasn't going to. He was there. He was fun. I'm glad he was there. I do want to talk about one star that we haven't spoken about.
Oh, Alan Cummings' outfits. So that's what you're about to talk about.
No, actually, I was going to talk about Ari. Ari was trusted by everyone.
Yep.
He was, you know what? Actually, I have a lot to say about Ari. Ooh. First, I want to talk about Kate's note. Kate and Brandy Glanville were trying to discuss who they thought was going to be the bad guys, who the traitors were. They wrote a note. She wrote it down on a piece of paper. Stephanie LaGrossa thought it was an idle advantage. She went and ran over there and grabbed it and put it in her pants, even though she had pockets, and she went to the bathroom and read it. Saw it was almost like a hit list. Immediately brings it to Suri and talks to her about why she thinks Kate is a traitor. I loved this moment. I loved the list. I love that it confirmed for Stephanie that Kate was a traitor with no question. And I love that the traitors were like, this is not a bad list. Should we go off this list? Should we just use this list to kill the next few people?
Yeah, just frame Kate. Not that it matters.
Yes.
Listen, just frame all of the visual learners. That's basically what's happening.
I mean, that's very sus behavior.
Why was it in her skirt? And why was it what? Why
Because women don't have pockets, Sheldon.
Yes, this is 100% true. And even when you do have pockets, they are too shallow to actually hold stuff. So stuff falls out all the time.
This is a big problem. We need to fix it.
I think that it wasn't even in her skirt. I think it was in her seat. I think that her and Brandy were going over it, and then they were like, places. You guys got to get into your places. And so she just put it under her bottom. And I assume that these round tables probably with whole production last at least an hour. So she probably completely forgot she was sitting on it. So then she gets up to leave and Stephanie sees it and darts over there and grabs it. That's my assumption of how everything broke down in real time, because it's plain as day in the seat. Like it's not like on the floor.
Well, here's the other thing is like, if you want to say that's her kill list and Kate says, well, I was going over it with Brandy and you just voted Brandy out and she was a faithful, doesn't that imply that Kate's telling the truth?
Nah, because she could have not been going over with Brandy. Brandy's not here to tell you that she was.
I mean, that early in the game, I don't think that someone's writing it down.
I have you telling me that you went over with Brandy, but I have your physical list. I don't really know what else like, I hear you, and she's not here to support that, but I have the list in my hand.
And somehow she still didn't get voted out.
I just think that at that point, if someone's carrying around a list of who to take out, you can't be that stupid.
Yeah, but you also have to understand, and I'm not calling Kate stupid. Like, she didn't care. Like she didn't need to. Like, well, it fell out. There was a paper. There's not a no. She was thinking, where's the bathroom? Where's my nice hotel room? Where's my whatever? Like, she didn't care. So it fell on the floor. She peed out a piece of paper with names on it. Who cares?
Rez is gone. Brandy's gone. Kyle's gone. Can y'all take me out, please? I'm at the banishment ceremony. It's me. I'm the traitor. Are y'all going to kill me? No. We're going to go ahead and look elsewhere.
No, we'll do that next time.
Traitors, can y'all kill me tonight? Wakes up in the morning. Another day. I'm back. Another day. I'm here again. Great. Rachel says something to her, and she's like, I can't trust your opinion based on that outfit that you chose to wear. I can't.
Which, by the way, I must admit, I liked her Scottish outfits.
That was just Kate just didn't care about being there. A star was born. I'm probably going to watch Below Deck now, because if you're telling me this is how Kate is, I got to see more of it.
She's no longer on it, so you have to go to old episodes.
I will watch old episodes because this was hilarious.
I will say it was really interesting with Suri, like, to show you how good of a player she was, because she kept saying, I trust Kate. I trust Kate. And people were so determined not to trust Kate.
Yeah.
And yet, neither of them ever had suspicion.
And she kept saying, I trust her, and kept saying, I don't think Kate's a traitor.
Yeah.
Because she's not. And she's like, I don't think Kate's a traitor. So
I loved the speech that Suri gave about the aura of truth in people and how she saw that in Kate. Like that speech is why nobody was ever going to vote Suri out. because she just comes across as so sincere.
Mm-hmm.
Like people inherently trust her.
It was great, and I think, when we get down to 5, Kate's still there, and Quentin says, "I'm voting for you, Kate. I begrudgingly actually love you," because they've now been playing this game for about a week or 2 weeks, and they've been around each other for this amount of time, and Kate's like, as much as I hate being here, you 4 aren't that bad. I like the 4 of you better than everybody else.
And this is something I want to talk about for like once they hit the back half, like episode 7 or 8, the Shelby vote is when it kind of crystallized. It's they didn't want to vote out their friends, which is another reason why the Traitors had a relatively easy time. Because if you were on the inner circle, you weren't catching votes. Like
they did keep talking about the clique.
Yeah. And the clique very much stuck within themselves, which is why the Rachel vote was so personal. It's because it was the first time they ate their own.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why Rachel was like, it's just a game, but it's not actually just a game. Like, I take this personally. You can't take it personally because it is just a game. You're just upset because you got first.
And that happens sometimes, because she thought that she was going to be in the end with them. But she got taken out, and then Stephanie goes out right after that. They convinced Stephanie to kill Ari, and Christian convinced Stephanie to kill, convinced Suri to kill Stephanie in the night. And so then Stephanie goes next. How about, though, going back to...
Just a quick question. Did we get anything that we didn't previously get from Stephanie LaGrossa? I kind of want to say that I liked her better when she was younger on Survivor. There was like fire in her. I didn't feel.
There was fire in her. There was fire in her in this.
Yeah,
she had fire in this.
Maybe just because she didn't do too well. I don't know.
She didn't do too well.
I felt a little like, I remember loving Stephanie LaGrossa on Survivor and thinking, wow, she should have won. And then I was a little just underwhelmed. And it's probably, I guess, because she left early. But I don't know.
Well, it's because she's not. It's because she wasn't a traitor. In this one, she trusted Suri and she was riding with Suri. A lot of times in Palau and in Guatemala, she was leading the charge. In this one, she was following Suri, and that's probably where you lost it because she's the one that's like, I found this thing. I got Kate dead to rights. That you see the fire there. You see when she's convinced that Christians and Cody's are also bad guys. They're also traitors. Like she had the fire, but she's like telling Suri, and Suri is like, "We don't need to worry about that right now, Stephanie." And she's like, "Okay." Like that is.
Also, I will say about the time when she leaves is when Kate starts to come back around to wanting to be in the game, which was also really funny to watch.
Well, surprise, Jackie. That's when Rachel's gone. So that's when they banish Rachel. It's like when you if you get like a prick in your finger. Yeah, it's there, a splinter. It's annoying. Then the moment you get the splinter out, you got that relief. Rachel was the splinter in Kate's side. And the moment she was gone, she was happy to be there. Because she liked Ari, she liked Quentin, Andy, Suri. She was happy to be there. And that's why I want to go back to talking about Ari, man. So Sheldon, I don't know if you watched The Bachelor. So Ari, in his season of The Bachelor, he picked this woman named Becca. And after he picked Becca, he decided that he liked Lauren better, who came in second place. And we watched about an hour and 10 minutes of unedited footage of him breaking up with Becca before we got to the finale. He's already chosen her. She has an engagement ring. After they're chosen, before you get to the finale of the show, and they bring them out for the live finale on the final after the final rose, there's about 3 or 4 months between filming and the show airing, and they have like secret rendezvous. Sheldon, that's what they would normally do.
Well, during one happy couple weekends.
So during one of these secret rendezvous, Ari decides that he's going to break up with Becca and go and chase the girl that was in second place, Lauren, that he had already sent home months before. We watched as an hour and a half goes by while he awkwardly ends the engagement and tells her that he's going to go pick the other girl. They're now married. They have 2 kids. They live in Arizona. It's a very, very nice ending for them. He's one of the few bachelors that is married and has children. They have a happy family. But Ari was vilified. One of the worst bachelors ever for watching that happen to Becca.
I would rank Ari as the second worst bachelor I've ever seen.
Third for me, Juan Pablo. Juan Pablo was very bad, but so was Pilot Pete.
Listen, unless y'all would have just told me that, I would have had no idea, because the truth is that's not the guy I got. I got a guy who is sweet, kind, loving, trustworthy. This is like America's sweetheart. Like, who are you guys talking about?
So that's the thing. On The Bachelor, Ari had no personality.
None.
Everything, like, all he ever said when a woman told him something or confided in him was, "I love that," which all the bachelors
they all
say.
do.
But those were the only 3 words he said all season.
But he also, because he had no personality, right? And then you got to that point where they were doing the breakup, right? He basically told her that. She got up and left and went into the bathroom, and he would not leave. He kept like knocking on the door. He kept trying to get her to talk to him. He wanted to talk it out.
I want to also say that Jackie's saying it with such urgency. There was no urgency. No. He hung around. He just
would not leave.
She's crying in the restroom. He's waiting in the living room. Mind you, this is unedited, so we're seeing the cameramen in the room. The cameramen are catching the other cameramen in shots. He's standing around. Then he walks to the bathroom and says, "Are you okay?" And she says, "No, I'm not fucking okay. You just broke up with me." And he says, "Okay." Then he goes back to the living room. And then he waits some more. Then he says, "All right, I'm going to leave now." And then he walks out the house. And then he stands in the grass area. Then he comes back inside the house. Like, it's extreme. Jackie said it was urgency. It was awkward. It was awkward as hell.
It sounds like
literally it's the most uncomfortable thing I've ever watched on television.
It sounds like he was always meant to be a traitor.
Yes. So when I see that Ari's on the show, I'm like, I hate this dude. Sheldon, I play in a kickball tournament in Arizona every year, and on the drive back, there's a giant billboard with Ari's face on it because he's a realtor in Arizona. And I see that billboard, and I usually flip it off because Ari sucks. But
now, are you gonna
the
billboard?
I'm no longer gonna flip it off. I'm like, that guy right there, he did a very good thing. He was a very good trader, and he helps her.
Okay. Can we talk about this? Can we get to the end already?
We're at the finale, baby. There's 4 people left: Andy, Quentin, Ari, Sari.
50% trader.
The 4 people have to go and throw their bags basically into a fire. If it lights up green, you want to end the game now and split the money with everyone that's left, unless there's a traitor in your midst. Or if you want to throw in the red, it means that you think that you want to banish one more time. Ari's bag goes first, green. Andy's bag goes next, green. Quentin's bag goes next, green. Sari's bag goes, and it's red. We will be having another banishment. In this moment, we're having another banishment. Sari looks at Ari and says, "I think there's one more traitor left here."
So when Sari does this, Ari basically freaks out. And
they're on easy street. We've won the money. We're about to split $250,000.
He's speechless because he just got stabbed in the back.
Yeah.
And
it's not hard to do the math. He's going.
But he withdraws himself from the game. He tries to do the noble thing. He congratulates them on making it this far, wishes them good luck.
Yeah, that was weird.
It's
he
not
straight
weird.
up told them that Suri was a traitor.
And
Like in that speech, he basically said, like, good luck to you guys, you know, da da da. And I forget what he says exactly, but he makes some other comment about, oh, I was turned mid-season, right? So he very clearly says, I didn't start as a traitor. There's probably another one here. Like, he gave them so many hints.
and the other
Which is
thing
why,
is,
well, hold on, CJ. Which is why the 2 to 5 means so much, because they think they got him.
but this is the thing. You two have been riding with Suri. I don't know what conversations you've had about Ari, but they've never showed us having you guys suspect Ari.
Yeah.
So if Suri out of nowhere says, you know what, I think Ari's a traitor, it makes me not trust her because you're doing this on your gut. And what if you're wrong? Like, you happen to be right, but the fact that you're right makes me assume that this is a money grab and I'm probably going after you next. I just need the person next to me to work with me, because even if that person doesn't work with me and they vote me out, you're probably losing.
I read an exit interview with Suri.
And
She said that she had talked with them that night about the fact that Andy and their partner has a baby on the way. Quentin's girlfriend had a baby on the way. Suri is a grandmother. If Ari has his money, he's just going to buy another Porsche.
Wow.
That was that, and it's true. It's,
Whether he's a
Ari's,
faithful or not.
yeah, and we're talking for all faithful, right? We're going to split this money 4 ways. Like, this money, this $250,000 is going to change the 3 of our lives. It's going to help make our lives easier. We already know that Ari's a very successful. He was a race car driver, Sheldon. I don't think you knew that. Yeah, he was a race car driver.
And his father was a race car driver.
And his father was a race car driver. And then he was the Bachelor, and he's a very successful realtor in Arizona. That's why Suri says he's just going to buy another Porsche with this money. So when she has him dead to rights, and that Jackie said, he kind of calls her out a little bit, but it's not enough to change Andy and Quentin's mind on Ari or on Suri, because she already laid out the groundwork here, and Ari's bowing out because obviously Suri wants another management because she knows where she's going with this. We already saw in the last vote, because he thought we were bringing Kate to the end. He already saw the game Suri's playing, and that these two, Quentin and Andy, are in Suri's left and right pocket. There's no way they're going to look at Suri. So Ari said, listen, you got me. Hands up. Suri, you got me. You played a good game. And you hear Quentin say, we're splitting this money 3 ways.
Yep.
We're splitting this money 3 ways.
So they celebrate. Andy hugs Suri, and Suri says to her, no matter what, remember I love you. Have you not clocked that?
That's right before you stabbed him in the back. You said, I always loved you. Boom. and I caught that. I definitely caught that. I definitely caught that vernacular, but Andy didn't, because Andy's in the moment. And the moment is, we just got this.
But when I heard that, I didn't hear it that way. I heard it as, I didn't tell you I'm going to do that, but I always have your back. That's why I just did that.
And that's probably how Andy heard it. I heard it as
that's not how I heard it.
We remember,
but we
remember
knew.
though, we know everything. So Andy hears it as Suri has our back. And Quentin says in his confessional, Suri caught a wolf all by themselves. Suri caught a traitor all by herself. Look how badass Suri is. She caught him.
Would this show have been better if we didn't know who the traitors were?
Oh wow.
No.
I do think it would have been interesting.
The reason it wouldn't have been better is because the moles like that. And that's fun. That's fun. But there's clues. Since there's no clues, we're all just in the dark.
There was also something about two thoughts about that. There was also something about watching them in that turret, the three of them,
The deliberation.
I know it was how they thought through the strategy, like that. That's what I like in these games.
You missed that too.
Fun. And the other part is that maybe I'm wrong. I was kind of rooting the traitors. Like the traitors are the good guys for me. The traitors are who everybody wants to win, and there is this weird relationship I think that's formed between the audience and the traitors. Of let's see if they could deceive them well and get through. So I don't know, CJ. I think there's something cool with that though. So I don't know, but
watch the mole.
Their identity.
You should watch the mole. The mole is really good on Netflix.
I watched the mole.
It was fantastic. I loved it.
I watched the old mole way back on ABC. I have not watched
the new one. Was fantastic. The new one was fantastic. But watching Suri, then Andy's excited. Quentin's excited.
Suri's
Bags
excited.
go back in again. Green. Suri throws hers in there. Green. We're counting paper, baby. We're counting. Andy, time for the circle of truth, baby. Andy. What? Listen, I didn't have it in me to be a traitor. I was always a faithful. Everybody, Quinn's like, let's go. Quinn, how about you? Faithful, baby. Faithful. Let's go. Suri. They're like, Suri. And Suri goes, in my heart, I'm a faithful. And in that moment, I would have been like, no, Suri.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, Suri. And she said, but in this game, I'm a traitor. If you look in the corner of the screen, you'll see Quentin's mouth go.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes.
And because he just saw in his mind whatever a third of $250,000. It's like
83,333.
Whisked away. Just whisked away. And Andy just starts crying. And Suri is like, I'm sorry. And earlier in the season, you hear Cody talk about how hard it is to be a traitor, be betraying these people that he's getting to know and he's working with. Suri, it doesn't hit her until it's happening. And now, mind you, she knew she had to do what she had to do. She never strayed from the course. But whatever connection her and Andy legitimately created, she knew this was going to break them. And it's funny because I play a lot of these kind of games, and it's the hardest when you bring someone that trusts you the most to the end, and then you cut them. But you need to bring them as far as you can because you know that's a vote that's going to help you get there. But it's the hardest to cut them then.
And the worst part is, I don't even think Suri felt bad about cutting Quentin. I think it was just Andy.
I think she felt like, because Quentin wasn't taking it as hard.
Well, I think Quentin knew it was a game.
Yeah, Quentin was very much treating it like
Andy sends Rachel home for playing the game.
That's true. And Andy took it hard, and it makes me wonder what their relationship was and what it is now.
Yeah. Andy even says, I'm choosing to give you grace.
Yeah.
Now, as Suri says, I didn't choose to be a traitor. But once I became a traitor, I had to be the best traitor I could be in this game. And that's the truth.
Yep.
That's the truth.
Is it worth it?
Yes. It's $250,000. $250,000 is definitely worth it. It's a game.
Yeah, Sheldon, that's like 400,000 Canadian.
I don't know. I don't know. I just got backstabbed and blindsided this evening, and my heart hurts. And it wasn't for $250,000. Is it like Suri played? Suri used their emotions, their positive, trusting, loving feelings, to ripped it out of the money out of their hands and said, "Mine."
Had to. Didn't have any other options though.
You know what you're signing up for when you sign up to play these kind of games.
Yeah.
Putting your heart out there.
What?
It's not even that part though. They were never on the same team.
Yeah, but she made it seem like they were on the same team, obviously.
Because
That's
that's
the
the
game.
job.
Look, I'm not arguing with I get it's the
No,
game.
no, I get
I
you.
guess what
That's
I'm
the
just
job.
saying is how moral.
Cerise
listen,
says it. The
I
other
also,
option
as I
was for her
said,
to
I
go
just
home.
got voted off and I'm bitter. So after a blind side, so I'm feeling the emotions not as deeply as Andy was, but like, is it worth it to play these games because they're
But
going to hurt people?
your
Why
game's a
do we
little
have to
different
have
though, Sheldon.
pain?
Your game's a little different though, because
Is it?
as far as you know, we're all on the same page. In this game, you know there's a team of guys against you. You know that from the jump. And so it's everything Suri did was to further the advancements of her team.
100%.
So I will also say, so we said during the pandemic, we played a lot of the werewolf. We also played Secret Hitler, Among Us, like a bunch of these social detection games where you're trying to figure out who's the bad guy and kicking people out. And at one point, some of the group was like, we need to just play like board games or like something else because I can't keep doing this week after week after week because it takes a toll when you're constantly looking at your friends going, are you trying to screw me over?
I could play them all the time. But that is
It's fine.
I don't take them personally. But I do know from a personal standpoint where I have had to betray people in the end. And I've been Suri, where I'm in the end and I've brought this person to the end with me, knowing full well that I will be eliminating them at a time. And I mean, I just played a game recently and I made it to the final, but the last vote that I sent home was the person that trusted me emphatically. And the hardest part about these things is that, as Sheldon was saying earlier, why do these people just trust Suri? Suri never gave Andy a reason not to trust her. Everything she did was the truth to Andy until the end. And that's what happened to me in the game I was playing. Everything I told this guy was the truth because it advanced us in the game with me knowing full well that eventually it would just be me. But I got him to the end. And even in the end, when he questioned at the end, he thought the other guy sitting in the final three is the one that lied to him and sent him home. And I told him when he asked me, when he said, well, I would never vote for the other guy because he sent me home, I had to tell the truth. And I said, actually, it was me. And he's like, I can't believe you did that to me, of all people. I never thought it would be you. And I said, I'm sorry. And he still hates me.
That is not where I expected that story to end.
But that's what happens. And we're playing for no money. But it's because at no point in the game did I ever give him a reason not to trust me. And that's what happened with Suri. At no point in the game did she give Andy a reason not to trust her.
Okay, let me ask a question.
Yeah.
Do we want to see Suri play one of these games again on TV?
I need Suri to play as ever many games it costs to make $1 million. Okay, so we are a quarter of the way there. Whatever's next, I need as many games as possible to win $1 million because she was robbed. The money was stolen from her twice. No,
might I suggest that, as we all know, I am a very big Suri fan. I don't know if I want to see her again.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I'm not going to get out of here because I don't think we're getting anything new from Suri anymore. We know she's brilliant. We know how she plays. We know her skills. Like, I don't know if I don't think she could ever win anything again. Like I think she gets voted out every time again. Like it would be dumb for anybody in a game that sees Suri to want to keep them around.
How?
Because they're brilliant. She's brilliant.
If I'm in the Big Brother house and Suri
If
feels
you're
in the Big Brother house.
and you see Suri, Kevin, you better vote her out. 'Cause
I am not.
you are
I am not.
going to
I shall
win.
not.
You're not.
I shall. I will lay down my sword for Suri Fields.
Yeah,
I will.
You're gonna give her $750,000,
And then we made $1 million, and we're there.
I don't know. Like. So point number one is like I don't know if she can win anymore because she's too good. Point number two is
She won this game.
I want to see growth in a player. I do not see any more growth in Suri.
There's no growth for her to have. She's
Well,
a great player.
Well, I know that's the point. Like I'm bored of watching her after this. I don't want to see her again.
You're the only one. You're the only
What
one.
I'm hearing from Sheldon is he doesn't know how to appreciate greatness.
Yeah. I want to see good game players.
No,
and she's the greatest.
No. That's bullcrap. It's the fact that I appreciate greatness that I don't want to see her again. I don't want to see her being voted out again early in a game. I don't want to see her like doing things again that I've already seen her done. Like I see her greatness, I feel her greatness. Give her a full-time job and give her a salary of $1 bazillion million because that's what she deserves, and make her the president of your country, as I said already. But like I don't need to see her play again.
But here's the thing. So like you talk about that, but we recently had Survivor's Winner at War.
Yeah.
And what did they do? They went after the people they perceived to be the biggest threats first. Getting voted out early is a compliment when you have a reputation.
So?
Suri is great. It's going to be the biggest compliment if she goes home first at this time because people know how dangerous she is in games like this.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to see her to go home first. I would just be sad and disappointed.
It would also be even more impressive if she managed to not.
Exactly. That's the point.
100%. Like when she was like whatever idled out with a bazillion powers, like she would have won that season. Like
thrice, 3 times they took the money from her. She deserves the $1 million. And you just said right now that you don't want to see her because she's going to go home first. They knew how dangerous Suri was, and they let her stick around.
Well, listen, I think they let her stick around because all the celebs wanted to stick together.
I'm not talking about in this. I'm talking about in that last season. She played Survivor 4 times.
Yeah, they're dumb. They're absolutely. It's insane.
It's not that they're dumb. Suri's magic. She's magic.
She's magic. But if you see her in the Big Brother house, Kevin, vote her out. Vote her out.
I'm not. I will sit there and I will work with Suri Fields. I'm not gonna lose my monies. I'm going to give her the money she rightfully earned. All right, CBS is taking too much from her.
I want you to earn the money, and I will come to Vegas, and I want you to take me out for dinner. Take that money and take me out.
CBS has taken too much money from Suri. I'm here to help give it back.
CBS has paid her a fair amount of money, I'm sure, over the years, and she's been nicely compensated as well as her real job.
Oh my gosh.
Come on. She's fine.
I can't believe. Can you two believe, Jackie? This is your first experience with Suri. Do you want to see more Suri?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I've seen 5 seasons of Suri on show. Like I'm done with Suri. It's over. Give me new blood. Bring back Michaela. I'll take Michaela again.
Why does Sheldon always have these takes, CJ? Why do we have so many nice things, and then Sheldon comes with the villain takes all the time?
Okay. I have another question. Is Suri a villain?
No.
Why? Can we define villain? Because I was thinking a lot about this today, and I don't know if she is, but I can't say she's not.
I think because, as we talked about earlier in this pod, the Traitors are the protagonist of the story. It's impossible for her to be a villain here.
I actually think Kate was the villain of this season.
Yes.
And not in a bad way. I just think Kate was the villain of this piece.
But she was the foil. She was the one that was creating havoc. That's what villains do.
Kate was great for Suri's game.
Yes, she was. Suri, if you don't want to call Suri a hero, you could call her an anti-hero. She may not have been doing everything.
Smart. That stuff is too smart for me. I don't know what that means.
It means
I just made that sound so that I would sound smart.
She did the things that may not be what was a typical hero would do, but it was all for the sake of heroism.
I'm sorry,
for the
she
greater
broke
good.
people's hearts. She took the money away from her other she
was
did
playing with a
horrible
team
things.
that she played for a team, and that team was her family, Sheldon. She said it right out there.
Yeah,
She was
bullcrap.
playing for HB. She was playing for Honey Bunny back at the house.
I don't know what that is. That's my stripper name, but and I don't know how you knew that. It's weird.
But in Panama, that's what her husband's name was HB, Honey Bunny. And that's what she was playing for Honey Bunny.
So, Sheldon, just out of curiosity, if you're playing chess against someone,
Oh, I thought that would happen.
Okay, but let's say it did. You're playing chess against someone, and the other person beats you. Are they a villain?
No.
Then why is Suri?
Because Suri used emotions, got into people's hearts, got into people's minds, and broke them for her advantage. That's
how I
part
play
of the
every
game.
game.
Yeah.
Literally every game. I play Connect 4 with my 8-year-old niece, and I get in her head and break her heart.
Monopoly with Kevin.
Do not play Monopoly
with
with Kevin.
Is nothing but mind terrorism.
Hold on. So are
I'm
there
here
no
to
villains?
break you.
Are there no villains in these games? Is
Wait.
Russell not a villain? Is
Russell is a villain.
Can be villains.
But they were just playing the games. They were playing the
No.
rules.
That's the thing. When you do something to cause chaos for no reason but for chaos, I think that makes you a villain. Kate is a villain to me for that reason. The moment Kate switched from hero to villain for me was when she said, I'm voting Rachel because she's annoying. Not because of any reason, but because I don't like her. That's when she became a villain. You ask Russell Hantz when he's burning someone's socks in the fire to cause chaos. When he's playing with what he calls the Dumb Girl Alliance. These are villainous tactics. Suri did nothing underhanded. She did nothing despicable. Everything she did was with the right thing in mind. I don't know if you watch Marvel, but I don't think Killmonger's a villain. He is more of an anti-hero because he has a greater purpose. It's not just for chaos sake.
I'm sorry, Killmonger is a horrible name for a character. I don't know what that is, but not good.
But the
only reason Killmonger's a villain is because we don't agree with his point of view.
Two people know about Killmonger?
Oh, me too. Sorry, I'm a huge Marvel fan.
Killmonger?
Killmonger is a great character. But Marvel in general is really good at having quote-unquote villains that are really complicated, right? Thanos, great character, actually not a bad goal that he's trying to accomplish. We just don't agree with his tactics for doing it.
Namor, fantastic anti-hero, right? He is looking out. Namor and Suri are very similar. Actually, more similar than I even thought until I just said that out loud. Namor and Suri are very, very similar. And they both have a goal, and it's to take care of their people. Their people happens to not be you. So they have to do what they have to do to protect their people. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And Namor, just like Suri, is a great connector of people and a great connector with people. Yet, what they have to do may not be to your benefit. So they have to go, by all means, to do what they have to do. I did not realize Namor and Suri were the same. Give me a second.
Say no more about Namor. Suri's not a villain. Fine. She did villainous things to me. Kevin, who are you talking
You already don't like Suri because you just told me you don't want to see her again.
True.
I am not mischaracterizing this. I am not mischaracterizing this at all.
Yes, you did. I just said I don't want to see her.
If you are not with Suri, you are against Suri, and I am against you. We have now found if Suri has one fan, it is me. If Suri has no fans, it's because I'm dead. There is no reason you should be against Suri.
I am not against Suri. That is bullcrap. So, I just don't listen. Anybody watch soap operas?
Mm-hmm.
I have.
Sometimes you want a character to be killed off, even though if you like them. It's time for Suri to be killed off. Not literally. Not literally.
Wow.
Like we've seen it. Move on. Give me another storyline.
So okay, it's time to wrap this up. We've been here for about 2 hours. Let's wrap
Oh,
this up. CJ, on a second season of the show, if we're going to go with have celebrities, have new people, who are 3 celebrity people you have to see on this show?
That's a good question. Number 1, I want to see Johnny Bananas.
Okay.
I think it would be insane.
Okay.
Name more.
Number 2.
Name more.
Number 2, I would love to see Tiffany Mitchell. I think she can do the Suri thing. I would really enjoy that. Number 3, I would want to see Boston Rob.
Oh,
Okay. Boston Rob, Suri, and Johnny Bananas. Jackie, what about you? Who would you want to see?
Sorry. Boston Rob is another Suri. I'm done. I don't want to see them again.
Completely different gameplay.
So speaking of Tiffany, I would actually love to see Tiffany as a faithful because it would be fascinating to see her trying to suss out the traitors.
Yep.
But that's I really liked the Bravo people. I liked the people who were not used to doing competition, right? That they're used to reality shows where they're semi-scripted and they're just having a good time, and this is not that. And so I thought that they really brought an interesting perspective to this game. So I'd like to see more of them. Not like Kardashian style, but just like the way that this group was made up of a whole bunch of different types of personalities. And sometimes you tend to get too much of the same personality on the competition shows.
So who are the 3 you would want to see?
I don't know. I don't watch enough reality TV
Okay,
on that
fair.
side to say. But I really liked the mix that they had this time.
Yes. Sheldon, what about you? What 3 would you like to see?
The first name that came to my mind was Janelle. But not Janelle of the last All-Star season of Big Brother. Janelle of our youth. I would like to see her back. So can we roll back time? I would probably, interestingly enough, want to see Carla from the most recent season of Survivor.
Okay.
And I don't know who my third would be, but I kind of like Jackie's take of bringing one of these Bravo, Lisa Rinna, one of those people, Eileen Davidson, like one of those housewifey. I don't watch that stuff, but I feel like whatever Kate Gay, just bring back Kate again. Bring her back.
And just bring Kate back. See, for myself, I would love to see Tiffany Mitchell as well.
Yeah.
I would also love to see Kristen Cavallari.
Who's that?
And from Laguna Beach. I think that would be fun, having Kristen Cavallari on there. And then CJ, I can't believe you didn't say this. Obviously, the person that can get to the bottom of this would be the one and only Ray J. I need Ray J here because Ray J, he was on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. He had his own show, For the Love of Ray J. He would obviously be the best investigator as a faithful. And Ray J would definitely figure out who the traitors were.
Who is the one in this house smashing the homies?
That's what he would get to the bottom of it. He would.
So I will say, Kevin, I would love to see Katie from The Bachelor on here.
Oh, Katie would be fun too.
Katie would be very interesting.
For entertainment, can we also add Omarosa?
No,
that's fine. That's fine. You want to add the Donald too?
No, I don't know. I don't know.
What a get though, right? What a get. What a get. If you get the Donald on anything, what a get. Because he's a reality star, but also now it's former president. What a get.
Not related to reality. What if we had the guys that argue on sports shows? Like, what if Skip Bayless showed up?
Oh man, what if Stephen A was here?
Oh.
That'd be crazy. These are people that Sheldon doesn't know. He doesn't know. He doesn't know American sports people.
I'll take a little Jennifer Hudson too. Maybe a little.
Jennifer Hudson would be great. Jennifer Hudson would be great.
Paris Hilton. Paris.
Oh, that'd be hot.
Bobby.
That'd be hot.
Oh, RuPaul.
Oh, that would be great too. Or one of the queens. Yeah, that'd be great.
Queens.
Bethany?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Bethany Frankel? I'm just
Um,
looking. I'm googling top reality TV stars. Oh, one of the 1,000-pound sisters that's now lost weight after surgery.
Listen,
Maybe.
I think this show's a hit. I know this will be back. I have pulled up an article from Variety, from Vulture, from what's what Slate magazine, the deviously addictive reality show that's taking the world by storm. TV Line wrote an article about why this show is the best show on TV, and Peacock has a legitimate hit on their hands. It'll be back. It's a week later, everyone's still talking about it. We've had people watching us. Thank you guys for watching us. And all I did was tweet one time. Like this is a hit. The show will be back. We'll be back to talk about it. Who knows when?
Hey, when it comes back, maybe we can even go episode by episode. Who knows?
So I have to say that like one of the difficulties with all these new streaming services is that we can't actually see ratings. So it feels like a hit, but I don't know if it's a hit just because of the people I spend time with, Kevin Gilreath, telling me about it. Like what is it the fact that there's a lot of media attention on it that you're
that's why it's a hit. That's why I think it's a hit.
Mm-hmm.
The article, TV Line's article, 5 reasons why the Traitors is Peacock's first legit phenomenon. That's the headline. Vulture says, Kate Chastain went on the Traitors to wear cute outfits. That's Vulture's article. Slate, like I said, says the deviously addictive reality show takes the world by storm. The Guardian, 100% ruthless. Why the nasty U.S. trailers? Why the nasty? Where'd it go? Why nasty U.S. Traitors ruins the reality show and it's good for it. Daily Beast has an article about it. U.S. Weekly has an article about it. NPR, the goofy, suspenseful reality show will not betray you. Like the New York Times, the Traitors was a UK hit. The U.S. version is just as good. Deadline. These are just articles that are out there.
I will also say I'd be curious to watch the UK version because the faithful win.
Ooh.
And so it would be interesting to see.
Jackie! What?
I mean, we said the whole thing was going to be spoilers.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, but I don't want the spoilers.
I didn't want that. Oh my gosh! Oh my god! I did not know. Jackie.
Sorry. I told you I looked up what happened.
Guys?
It's not like we could watch it.
We learned that Jackie is a villain today.
Yes, there you go. My villain turn.
Chaos for chaos sake. Oh my gosh.
How about Sherry Shepherd?
All right. With that, oh my gosh. With that, thank you guys for joining us. CJ, where can people find you?
Find me on all socials at Keyboard Sarcasm. I didn't tweet about the Traitors, but I did tweet about Survivor, tweet about Big Brother, and I'm looking forward to both seasons coming back. And please bring us Traitor season 2. I'm hooked.
Jackie, where can people find you if they want to chat with you?
I'm actually on Insta. I'm at Words Are Us.
Words Are Us. Sheldon, you can only find you in your home. We know. Has things changed?
Nothing has changed, except I'm a little sad. I keep on bringing it up because it's hurting my heart. But you could find me in March when myself, Kevin Gilreath, and maybe a few surprise other people will be back on For the Fans for Big Brother Canada. So excited. 11. Big Brother Canada, BB Can 11. We will be having full coverage of that once again. Recaps after every episode. Sheldon will be here. I'll be here. Josh might be here. Who knows? Kylie will probably be here too. She has nothing.
I know that's why the people come in. She has nothing better to do, except for tonight. She was busy tonight. But we will be back for BB Can 11. Thank you for joining us tonight. You can also catch us. Make sure you like and subscribe. You can catch us all the time. Also, make sure if you're listening on the podcast, make sure you subscribe there because we will make sure we're posting all the episodes on the podcast. Interact with me at KG Fury. That's my user handle. I forgot for a second. Interact with me there. I forgot for a second. Sorry. I'll be talking about shows and doing reality stuff. It's just a blast.
Can I
That's
just
it.
say one thing? You
It
told
depends
us
on what it
tonight.
is.
You told us tonight you are willing to give up.
I
the
will
700
give the money to
Sheree.
Sheree Fields.
You need it more than her. You
No.
deserve it more than her.
She has
You are
grandkids now.
heaven. Come on.
She has grandkids now.
You might have grandkids and you don't even know.
Why, how would I have grandkids? I'm only 35.
It's possible. Things
You're
happen.
old enough that
You're
he's
old
not
enough?
wrong.
To have
Barely.
And
grandkids?
you're not 35 yet. It's
Barely.
not our birthday yet, okay?
It is not. Did you know? Surprise! Sheldon's birthday is the 17th, and mine is the 15th of February. We are 2 days apart. Myself and Sheldon.
So where are you guys having your joint birthday party?
Well, he lives in Canada.
I'll be in Dominican at the end of February. Coming, Kevin?
I'm on my way. The DR, baby. Let's go.
The diary.
All right. Thank you for joining us. Good night.
Good night.